the snake in me. Venom in there in my veins now. I got the snake in me. Black Mamba in the game now. This ain't about bravery. It's about winning chips. It's that feeling you get when you know exactly what winning is.
Welcome to another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I am your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will so I can continue to bring you that gospel of Gamecocks every single day, y'all, including Saturday afternoon. A lot to talk about with Gamecock women's basketball. A lot to talk about women's basketball. A lot to talk about this sport that we call one of the greatest in the world. I'm talking about college women's basketball. Let me start right now. And I'm going to start with my wife and I went to see Joyce Edwards play. It was senior night, Camden High School. And I wanted to show some love for Joyce Edwards as a future Gamecock, as a future pillar of our team. So I got to show love to Joyce, and I hit her up on DM'd her, and she responded back and said, "Hey, my senior night is this time." So we popped up or pulled up. That's what the kids say, right? To pull it up, Camden High School, and I found this information after that. Going to the senior night, I found out that it was actually playing. My team, my alma mater, Marlboro County High School. Okay. Found out I was playing my team. And, I remember when Camden played Marlboro County, it was in a home game in Bennettsville, and they won by 80 some points. Okay. I was like, okay. So this senior night, so I'm like, oh God, here we go again, right? Okay. So, shout out to Joyce. Joyce put in that work. Joyce had 33 points, 20 some rebounds, like 8 steals, 8 assists, multiple block shots. She plays sensational. But I think the bigger part of that, because Joyce is going to be Joyce. All right, Joyce is going to be Joyce. She's going to do what she's going to do, right? I think the bigger part of that game was watching my alma mater, Marlboro County High School, lose by 99 points. 99 points. And not 99 points. We lost 114 to 15. 99 points. I didn't think that was possible. I don't think you could do that on 2K. I don't think you can win by 99 points in a basketball game. I did not believe that could happen, but I saw it with my own eyes. Shout out to Camden High School and their senior day, really nice. Everything was cool. Everything was great. Concession stand was on point. Hot dogs was good. The chili was fire. Chili was on point. Had a hot dog and some chips and you back in the country. This is when you know you back in the country. You know you back in the country when you walk in the gym and they selling skins. They're selling pork rind skins as you walk in. You're like, I'm back home. I'm back in the country. You know you in the country when they are selling pickles. They selling pickles at a concession stand. I'm like, oh my Lord, oh my Malaysia, oh, we are back at home. And then they beat the snot out of us. But, I chopped it up with her uncle. Joyce came through, took a picture of me and wifey. And I'm just saying right here, I ain't no short brother. I'm about 6 foot, about 6. I say with Jordan's probably about 6'1" and some change. I took the picture. I'm like, damn, Joyce is tall as I don't know what. And I saw her, before at the Under Armour. She grew. Joyce Evans all of 6'3". I'm just saying, she is all of 6'3" because I'm looking like that. I'm like, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Gamecock fans, we have a good one. In Joyce Edwards. We have another layer of talent that is coming to South Carolina. And she can do a little bit of everything. She can do a little bit of everything. She can rebound the basketball. She hustles. She shoots. She hit free throws. She's tough. She's physical. She's smart. Oh, my Lord, we got a good one. We have a good one in Joyce Edwards, and I cannot wait to see her in the Garden in Black next season. Can't wait to see it. And, of course, her senior night, you know who pulls up. Coach Staley and staff. Dawn Staley, Lisa Boyer, Yolett Law, Gandy, everybody pulls up. And you know, you're talking about, you know, the little kids, it's like celebrities just walked into the building. It was celebrities just walked into the building, taking pictures, and Dawn's so gracious. Just so awesome. Just taking pictures with family and taking pictures with little kids, and just seeing the joy in their face when they're taking a picture with one Coach Dawn Staley. We talk about the culture of Carolina. We talk about the culture of Carolina. We talk about what it means to be a Gamecock. We talk about all those things. We talk about what's different with Carolina versus other basketball teams. Well, I tell you this right here. I can't speak about all basketball teams. I don't have the knowledge or the insight on every basketball team out of the 360 in this country. But I would say this right here. With my own eyes, I see the love that Coach Staley has, not only for her players, not only for our future players, but also the family. Also the family. That means more to me than probably anything, because you're not just, you are, the family is entrusting the coaching staff with their daughter. They are entrusting the coaching staff to not only mold them as a basketball player, but mold them as a young woman to make them better. That is what I love. That is what I love about Coach Staley in South Carolina. You see the love. You see the exchange. You see how things go at the University of South Carolina. You know, now the Dale is already there. Joyce will be arriving during the summer. Maddie will be arriving during the summer. Man, I just want to let you know this thing will keep going. Keep going. And another thing I want to touch on before we jump into the pregame, a preview of the Ole Miss game tomorrow, which is a sellout. I want to touch on this right here. So Juju Watkins scored 51 points last night. Juju Watkins scores 51 points for Southern California last night, and they beat Stanford, right? A lot of things that went through my mind in that game. A lot of things went through my mind. First off, Juju scored 51 points, and I think Southern Cal scored 67. So she scored damn near 75%, 78% of all the points scored in that basketball game. Also, they beat a good basketball team, good to great basketball team in Stanford. So I saw that. And another thing I noticed was the game is on Pac-12. Pac-12. And, you know, if you follow me on Twitter, you know I've made a couple of post requests targeting ESPN to put these games on your worldwide networks, or the worldwide leader of sports, right? I made that request. Because you just can't have. And you talk about what number 4, number 5 ranked team and the number 15 team in the country according to AP poll on Pac-12 on a Friday night. It doesn't register. It doesn't register with my mind. Why is that so? You have a top level matchup against two quality teams. I don't care that it's on the West Coast. I can care less that it's on the West Coast. We got to get out of this East Coast bias, East Coast metric about basketball. These are top level basketball teams. They just reside in California. Okay, so that's one thing. The game was on Pac-12, and it wasn't even on ESPN Plus. Wasn't even on SEC Network Plus. It was on Pac-12. Not on ESPN, ESPN2. None of those things on a Friday night. First off, why is it on a damn Friday night? It should be on a Saturday afternoon so everybody can see it. And that should be on the ABC, because you are highlighting not only Southern Cal and you highlighting Stanford, but you are highlighting Juju Watkins. Juju Watkins, freshman, fresh woman, however you want to say it, fresh person. Juju Watkins scored 51 points. And most of America didn't even see it. Most college basketball fans didn't even see it. Didn't get the opportunity to see it. I was pissed off when Thursday, when Carolina was playing on SC Network Plus, of all things. I was pissed off with that, the number 1 team in the country, and then a game that I want to see on a Friday night after I come back from the Camden beatdown over Marlboro County High School, and the thing is on Pac-12. Pac-12. You got to be kidding me. And then tonight, Fox is doing this whole I love Caitlin Clark mess against Maryland at 8 o'clock prime time. They doing a TikTok follow of everything that Caitlin Clark doing during the game. They are having multiple cameras following Caitlin Clark all through the game. And you can see it on TikTok. Y'all have to do better, ESPN. You have to do better. You should not have to run and search the thousands of channels that we have on cable or satellite or whatever the case may be, or ESPN Plus, which I pay money for, and can't see the damn games. That's not right. That's not right. And I'm saying this obviously as a Gamecock fan, but I'm saying this as a women's college basketball fan. That ain't right, y'all. It ain't right. So many games that are great on the West Coast, and we can't even see them unless we pay for Pac-12. Well, damn it, I play for Hulu, Disney Plus. I got grandkids, and I love Marvel. I pay for ESPN Plus. I pay for Paramount. I pay for Peacock. I pay for, I pay for Netflix. Play for all these different things. Now I got to pay for Pac-12 just to see women's college basketball? Come on, man. That ain't right. That ain't right. So I just had to touch on those couple of things before we start the preview of this Ole Miss team. I just have to start. I just like it's just working on me. Just working on me. Just working on me. So we got Ole Miss tomorrow. Ole Miss tomorrow, 2 o'clock. Sellout game. Shout out to that. First off, sellout game Sunday afternoon. ESPN2. Imagine that. That's a fun thing to have. A sellout crowd. University of South Carolina playing Ole Miss Rebels. That's something nice to have, right? That's kind of cool. Sell out two phenomenal coaches. Wow, that's a fun fact, right? Net ranking for Ole Miss is 47. They're a good basketball team. This is the 11th team that South Carolina, that was the 12th team that South Carolina's played in the top 60. Top 60. Ole Miss ain't no scrub, y'all. Ole Miss ain't no Rudy Poo. Ole Miss is a basketball team, and that they show that by being the 47th team in the net ranking. They have an 82nd strength of schedule. Not great, not phenomenal, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. 82nd is pretty good. And when we do our analysis, you know how I do. I only talk about the SEC games. And Ole Miss has played 8 SEC games. They are 7-4. They played 11 teams in the top 60 themselves. And they're 7-4 in those basketball games. Teams in the top 60. Teams in the top 60 means that most likely teams that's going to be in the tournament. And Ole Miss is one of those basketball teams. They beat Louisville by 6. Louisville is a good basketball team. They're a good basketball team. Well, let me scratch that. They lost to Louisville by 6. Let me scratch that. Let me correct myself. Louisville beat them by 6 points. They played LSU, good basketball game, end up losing by 11 points. Okay. They lost to Mississippi State. We know that we just recently played Mississippi State, and they end up losing by 12 points. Okay. But none of these were blowouts. They were in the basketball game. And the reason that they were in the basketball game is because they are a defensive minded team. They're a defensive minded team. They're a defensive-minded team, and much like we just played Auburn, and Auburn is a solid basketball team, much like Vanderbilt, solid basketball team, Mississippi State. All these teams are solid basketball teams, but they hang their hats on defense. And right now, they are 27th in the country in defensive rating. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Coach got them playing ball. Coach has them playing ball. Field goal percentage, really good as well. 34th in the country in field goal percentage allowed. Very good defensive rating. Very good field goal percentage allowed. Very good basketball team. 2-point percentage allowed. They're 11th in the country. It's going to be a rehash of other defensive games that we played against. Another quality defensive team. 3-point percentage allowed. This is I was really surprised by this stat because they're 231st in guarding the three. 231st in guarding the three. I was very surprised with that. I thought because of their defensive rating, I thought because of their field goal percentage allowed, I thought that they would guard the three better. But, well, they don't. 231st in the country in regards to 3-point percentage allowed. Now, you're playing with fire with that, because South Carolina is still number 1 in the country in shooting the 3-ball. And that is with Te-Hina Paopao going through a mini slump. That is with Bree Hall going through a little mini slump shooting the 3. That ain't going to happen tomorrow, y'all. That ain't going to happen tomorrow. That will not happen tomorrow's basketball game, unless Mississippi have a unless Mississippi. Ole Miss, let me get it straight. Ole Miss, not Mississippi. Well, I guess it is Mississippi, University of Mississippi. Yeah, same thing. Mm-hmm. But not like they're gonna just go get some master plan to find out how to figure out how to defend the 3. If they ain't did it all year, it ain't gonna happen tomorrow either. Steals per game, they are 158th, so they're not the greatest team, about midway, about average in steals per game. But one key metric also is their blocks. South Carolina always have been the number 1 team in blocks in the country. That's been going on for years. Well, Ole Miss is number 3. They block about 6 shots themselves a game. So this is and defense. This is kind of parallel to our Gamecocks. Ole Miss defense will try to keep them in the game. They will try to keep them in the game. And when you play in a slower pace game like Ole Miss does, your defense, you got to have something on defense, right? You playing slower pace, and a lot of times when you play in slower pace, is because your offense isn't very good. And, that is the case with Ole Miss. Their offense ain't very good. It ain't. They don't have a good offense. They don't. Their defense is on point. Their offense has a lot to be desired. They have a lot to be desired. You start with their pace of play. Ole Miss pace of play is 217th. There are 360 basketball teams in this country. Ole Miss pace of play is 217th in the country. They are going to slow ball this game. They're going to try to limit possessions. They're going to try to limit the Gamecocks in transition defense. They're going to try every 4 corners type situation they can to limit Carolina's possessions and keep this game close. Their 217th pace of play and their tough defense says that. And to go along with their pace of play, this is the thing, they also have the 96 rating in the offense. 96. Okay. I was actually a little surprised that they were that high. I thought probably it'd be 120th, 130th, somewhere around there, but 96, top 100 in the country. So they're the top 3rd in terms of offensive rating. So they're not as bad as some teams that we've played in the past in regards to offensive rating. But I still feel, without a shadow of a doubt, they're going to have a tough time scoring the basketball against us. They're going to have a tough time scoring the basketball against us. The field goal percentage is 119. 119 in field goal percentage. Offensively. 2-point percentage, 132nd. Okay? 3-point percentage. They're a terrible 3-point shooting team. 344. 344th in the country in 3-point shooting. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 360 teams. So they at the cellar in terms of shooting the 3-ball. That is something that we will not have to worry about if we play up to our capabilities tomorrow. And if Ole Miss, if it holds true of their averages, they're going to have a tough time not only scoring 2-point baskets, but also scoring the 3-ball. They have not done that a lot during this season. Turnovers a game. They average, fewest turnovers a game, they average about 125th in the country. 125th in the country. They have players who turn over the ball. And we talk about their individual players. It could be a situation where they play so many minutes because they only play about 7 players a game. 7 players a game. So they have a lot of players, several players who play a ton of minutes. If you're playing good defense and you're also playing a lot of players in a basketball game, or I should say, if you are not playing a lot of players in a basketball game, we've seen this formula for other teams that have played us. Eventually, our depth is going to pour on top of you, and we're going to make a run, and you can't stop it because you're going to get tired. You're going to get tired. And I think that's going to be the same case against Ole Miss tomorrow. Wish it was today. Tomorrow. Assist to turnover rate ain't good. 172nd in the country. Ain't good. They give up the ball. They don't get a lot of assists. Okay. Rebounding percentage. They're a good rebounding team, though. 25. They're ranked 25th in rebounds. 25th in the rebounds. Okay. So they're a solid basketball game. It's like a broken record sometimes. It's like a broken record sometimes. And when I talk about teams that have a really good defense, but then the offense suffers. It really is like that. It's right. It's like that often, especially in the SEC. What sets South Carolina different between those other teams got really good defenses is our offense is just as good. Offense is just as good. I already talked about how I think that Ole Miss is going to have a tough time scoring the basketball. And the reason that they're going to have a tough time scoring the basketball, they got the 96 offensive rating. Top 30 in the country, right? Carolina still has the number one defense in the country. Still got the number one defense in the country. And this is off a strength of schedule that is 18th in the country, playing a lot of top level basketball teams. Still number one in defense. Okay. Field goal percentage allowed. South Carolina is number one still. Now, Ole Miss isn't a great field goal percentage team at 119th. That's why I say to you, ladies and gentlemen, on a Saturday afternoon, that it's going to be hard for them to score the basketball against us. They're not great anyway. They're not great. They're an average basketball team in terms of field goal percentage. What happens when they play the number one team in the country in defense and in field goal percentage defense allowed? What happens then? It's tough. It's tough. We talked about that 344th ranking in shooting the three. Well, South Carolina is 24th guarding the three. So we're really good guarding the three too. Really good guarding the three. They're terrible at guarding the three. They're terrible at guarding the three. Fewest turnovers allowed, 125th. We're 87th in steals. I wish that that number can be up because I think we have the capability to get more steals, but also sometimes we get more steals, we get more fouls. So I'm not a fan of that either. But we 87, that's respectable. That's top 25% in the country. So that's respectable. That's good. That's good. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Now, this vaunted Ole Miss defense that they have. Vaunted Ole Miss defense, top 27th in the country. Got to deal with a South Carolina Gamecock women's basketball team with so many layers, with so many great players that are second in offensive rating. So we will see how good this defense is by Ole Miss. We will see how good they are because they about to get the number one. That's not number one no more. Iowa got us by a point now. Iowa's got us by a point now. So now we're number two. We're number two in defensive rating. But they about to get the number 2 ranked offensive team in the country playing at Colonial Life Arena in front of a sellout crowd that's going to be lit, going to be crazy tomorrow afternoon. So they got to deal with that. They got to deal with that. They have to deal with that onslaught that is coming. We know that Te-Hina Paopao been a little off, but she back into the friendly rims of Colonial Life Arena. It's going down tomorrow, y'all. It's going down tomorrow. Get your popcorn ready. Get your sweet tea brewing, because it's about to go down for one Te-Hina Lights Out Paopao. She back at home. She back at home, and she is about to put on a show tomorrow. Book it. Mark it down. Put a circle around it. Te-Hina Paopao is going off tomorrow against this vaunted Ole Miss defense. Field goal percentage, 34th in the country. We're number 1 in field goal percentage. You call it the Kamilla Cardoso effect. You call it the Ashlyn Watkins effect. You call it whatever you want to call it. This is the most efficient offensive basketball team in the land, inside and outside. Okay? South Carolina. Ashlyn Watkins had a phenomenal game last Thursday with Chloe out of the basketball game. I expect her to continue to play well. She was not in foul trouble. She played within herself. She rebounded the basketball well. She made some shots. She shot at the free throw line. She was 4 for 5 from free throws. She had 5 block shots in 31 minutes of play. Ashlyn Watkins, I hope, continues this trend to what she's doing. Chloe Kitts, if she's back, if she's ready to roll, I think she's going to play well. Sania Feigin has been playing well in the last 5 or 6 games. Kamilla Cardoso would do what Kamilla Cardoso does. You know, she'll probably get a double-double tomorrow, okay? That is what I predict. You know, nothing outrageous, nothing sensational, just regular Kamilla Cardoso play. And you look at the box score and be like, oh, okay, she got 13 points, she got 11 rebounds, 3 block shots. All right, let's take it to the bank. That's Kamilla Cardoso. So we're gonna see how good that defense is. 2-point percentage. 2-point percentage, they're 11th in the country. Okay, 2-point percentage. We're 13th in the country in offense regarding the 2-point percentage. Something got to give. Something has to give. I already mentioned 231st in regards to them guarding the 3 ball. We're first in the country guarding the 3. First in the country shooting the 3. This is why I say this is a big game this will be a big game for Te-Hina. This will be a big game for Breezy, and I expect them to show up and show out. I think there's going to be some open looks, and those open looks that both of those players have been missing will be falling in tomorrow. We are not going to see no crazy 0 for 6, 0 for 8 mess in this basketball game tomorrow. I'm predicting you're going to see some 6 for 9, 6 for 10, 7 for 11 type eruption for Te-Hina and Bree Hall. I think Raven going to get a 3 or 2. I think Tessa going to get a 3 or 2. I think this will be a show-up game for our guards tomorrow afternoon. Now, they got to take care of the ball. And what goes without saying, they got to take care of the ball. They got to no limited turnovers, no silly fouls, all those different things. But I think this is going to be an eruption for South Carolina guards tomorrow afternoon. I really do. I really do. And you know, in terms, I always talk about us being the number 1 team in regards to shooting 3. I talk about it a lot because I'm going to say it all the time, because we number 1. I be saying all the time. We'll talk. My goals for this season was for South Carolina to be top 50 in shooting the 3. I thought with Te-Hina coming back, I thought with Te-Hina transferring in, I thought her 3-point prowess would propel us to those levels. I didn't think we're going. It never even entered my mind that we were going to be number 1 in the country shooting the 3. Te-Hina Paopao has been great. Bree Hall has been great. Raven has improved her 3-point shot immensely. Tessa Johnson is finding her groove. MiLaysia Fulwiley, MiLaysia takes a lot of threes. Sometimes they go in, sometimes they go out. Sometimes it's spectacular, sometimes it misses the goal. MiLaysia Fulwiley is the most sensational player on the South Carolina Gamecock women's basketball team. And she can get to the basket at will. I don't think anybody in the country can guard MiLaysia Fulwiley one-on-one. I don't think there's anyone can guard her one-on-one. And I want her to shoot more closer. I know that's not proper math, but I'm still pissed off from the game last night where Joyce Edwards' team beat us by damn near 100 points. So I'm talking because I'm angry. So I just want her to continue to get to the basket, get fouled because she's a good free throw shooter, and make the game easier for her. Make it easier for you, sister. Make it easier for you because you're special. You are so special. So special. We're about 30 minutes in right now. And I just want to say thank you for all who has been subscribing. Thank you, on YouTube. I think everyone who's been subscribing on Apple Tunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all those things. So I encourage everyone who's watching me right now to go to those platforms and subscribe to Captain Will. Subscribe to Captain Will so we can continue to make this thing grow, so we can continue to spread the gospel of Gamecocks every single day. Thank you for all the members. We're up to I think 14 members now in regards to, members on the YouTube channel. And I get the question about, hey, Captain Will, bro, can I be a member? Well, the easiest way to be a member is to go to your computer, go to my YouTube channel and click on the membership tab, hit the button, and then you follow the information, follow, the instructions. I hear some folks talking about they have a difficult time with the phone. So just go to your laptop or whatever and try it that way. So I really do appreciate it. We'll be doing a live show tomorrow evening after the game. And on Monday evening, we're doing a members only. You remember those jackets? They were so fly. I was a kid, but those members only jackets was so fly. That was the it thing. Members only jackets. Well, we're doing a members only live show on Monday afternoon, evening, wherever you may be watching it from. So that should be dope, So become a member, really nice. Got some fly t-shirts, and those will be going to the silver and gold members, or just the gold. Oh, those go to the gold members. Yeah. Fly t-shirts is really dope. So let's talk about break down the key players to watch out for in this basketball game tomorrow with Ole Miss. Ole Miss plays about 7 players. They play about 7 players. So there is not a situation where they're gonna go deep in the bench and multiple players and try to use their depth. They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that. They're gonna rock with what they got. And it's about 7 players going against our Gamecocks, okay? So that recipe didn't work out for LSU. It ain't going to work out for Ole Miss either. But they got Madison Scott. Madison Scott, 6'2" senior. Senior forward, average about 33 minutes a game. 33 minutes a game, 10 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 turnovers. She's kind of like a point forward, Madison Scott. Now, she handles the ball a lot. She gets several assists, but she also gets turnovers. When you're talking about averaging 3 turnovers a game and only 5 assists, because what comes to my mind is Raven Johnson. Raven Johnson averaged a little over 4 assists a game, 1 turnover a game. Really a 4-to-1 turnover ratio. So when people question me, Raven Johnson, she's not as good as a point guard as she could be, or I want it to be. Well, I'm telling you this right here. Raven Johnson is the quintessential point guard, and I say that all the time because she is. She's not a scoring point guard, but she can score. She's averaging about 10 points a game. But what Raven Johnson is, she averaged, a little over 4 assists and only 1 turnover basketball game in SEC play. That is sensational. That is unbelievable. So, it's apples and oranges, tomatoes and grapes. That's probably bad. But I want a point guard who take care of the ball, who makes everyone else better. You can have a point guard who scores the basketball a lot. That ain't a point guard to me. That is a scoring guard, and that's kind of like a shot out at some of these awards that are rewarding scoring more than the all around player, because defense is never ever take into account. But Raven guards you 94 feet. She guards you 94 feet. So who will be guarding Madison Scott? I don't know, because she's 6'2", but we'll be up into the challenge. And I would imagine that it'll be breezy. I would love to see Tessa. That's what I would love, because the size is pretty much the same, and Tessa's a really good defender. But you'll see multiple players guarding Madison Scott. You will. Kennedy Todd Williams, 6 foot guard, average about 31 minutes a game. 31 minutes a game. So you got Madison Scott averaging 33. Kennedy averaging 31 minutes a game, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 turnovers. She's a solid basketball player. She is a solid basketball player. And not because she has my namesake in Williams. That is a plus. That is a plus, of course. But she's a solid basketball player. Snudda Collins. I like that name. Snudda Collins, 6'1" senior guard. So what you are noticing with Ole Miss, they are a senior laden team, coached very well. We are a young basketball team that are coached very well. But Ole Miss got good players, and there's a senior experienced team. Snudda Collins, one of my favorite names in college basketball, 6'1" senior guard, 29 minutes a game, 9 points, 2 turnovers, 9 minute rebounds, not many assists. But she's gonna play some defense. All in all, their guards are big. They got big guards. Marquesha Davis. Oh, I love that name too. Marquesha Davis, 6 foot senior guard. Another 6 foot senior guard. She plays about 30 minutes a game, 19 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 turnovers. She is the shooter for this basketball team. We have to keep an eye on old Marquesha. Got to do it. We have to do it. They have a solid center. They have a really solid center. She's 6'4". I think she's a junior. No, she's a senior. 6'4" senior, average about 26 minutes a game. Rita Igbokwe. I know I'm messing that name up. And if you hear this, sister, I am sorry. I can't get it right. So I'm gonna call you Rita. All right, Rita, that is your first name, though. 6'4" senior, center. She don't play a lot of, in the big game, she has played a lot of minutes. She played a lot of minutes in Mississippi State. She played a lot of minutes in LSU. And she's averaged about 26 minutes a game in SEC play, through 8 ball games. I think she's going to play a lot of minutes tomorrow if she stays out of foul trouble, because she has that 6'4" size that I know that coach is going to try to combat against Kamilla Cardoso, against Ashlyn Watkins, against Sania Feigin, against those players. So I anticipate her playing a lot tomorrow. But even if she averaged about 26 minutes a game. She averaged about 5.7 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 2 turnovers a basketball game. So you're not getting the production that you're going to get from a Kamilla Cardoso or Ashlyn Watkins or Chloe Kitts or even a Sania Feigin. You're not going to get that type of production from Big Rita. You didn't get that. 6'4". But what you will get is some solid defense, because it was a game, I can't remember the game. It might have been Florida. They played, I think LSU, she had like three blocks. I think this is going to be a block party for Ole Miss and for South Carolina, because they get block shots. But at the end of the day, Ole Miss is playing Carolina in Colonial Life Arena. That's what's going down tomorrow. We are glad to be back home. It's going to be a sold out, rowdy crowd. And we've been playing in front of other rowdy crowds. So it's dope to have our fans back in and lit, celebrating our girls. I think it's going to be a tough time for Ole Miss scoring the basketball in the offensive end. I think their defense will keep them in the ball game until they start getting tired. And when they start getting tired, and the offense already is not great anyway, those shots are going to start coming up short. This is the recipe. I think South Carolina will get off to a better start than we've had the last couple of games. I think we will play like we normally play in the first quarter. I think being at home will help that. I would not be surprised if Te-Hina Paopao have 2 3-pointers in the first quarter. I won't be surprised. It won't surprise me whatsoever. I think that even though they are, Ole Miss has a 3-game winning streak in SEC play, that is going to go away tomorrow afternoon around 4:00 in the afternoon. It's going to go away because they are about to play an elite offense and an elite defense. They are a really good defensive team. South Carolina is better defensively, and we're deeper defensively. They are an average offensive team. South Carolina is a great offensive team. Number 2 in the country. At the end of the day, this is going to be a good basketball game. No, don't make no mistakes about this. This is going to be a good basketball game. But over the course of this game, quarter after quarter. Attrition will happen. Players on Ole Miss will get in foul trouble. South Carolina's talent will prevail. They will play 7 players. We will most likely play 9 or 10. Our 9 or 10 players are better than your 7 players. Okay? So eventually, when the clock ends this basketball game, you're going to see a victory of South Carolina, and the score will be 72-55 South Carolina as we move on to the next challenge. This is going to start turning around to UConn week, and I can't wait. UConn week. But we need to get past Ole Miss first and handle other business later. Okay? But I have the utmost confidence that South Carolina will stand on business tomorrow, and we will be having a good time in the post-game show with your man, Captain Will. This includes another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I am your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like it. Make sure you share it. Make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. Subscribe on all platforms that you may get your podcast. You are now rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your man, Captain Will. Let's go. Let's go.
I got the snake in me. Venom in there in my veins now. I got the snake in me. Black Mamba in the game now.